If someone is an average student who is interested in research but is again skeptical because they don't know how their research will pan out and whether after putting in so much effort they'll have a job or not. I know, sir, it is a very difficult question and it is very difficult for you and me to answer them, but do you have any such suggestion to give to those students?
You should be optimistic first, because I have finished my PhD in 2017 and I got postdoc in.
A very good evening, all of you. So, in today's video, we have a very special guest with us. That is Dr. Vishal Purohit. So, he did his PhD in 2017 from Sardar Patel University, which is a state university. Now, many of you have this perception that you cannot do really well in research if you are from a state university. But that's why I told that today's guest is really special, because he did his PhD from state university and he's doing really well in research. So, ultimately, I emphasize on this fact that it all depends on your research output, be it from a state university or a national university or a IIT or a ISER, right? And here he is. So in 2017, he completed his PhD, after which he worked as an assistant professor in a postgraduate college in Anand, Gujarat. And then in 2020, he was appointed as a postdoctoral fellow, or he joined as a postdoctoral fellow in University of Warsaw in Poland, wherein he is working on Grub's catalyst, okay, developing new generation of Grub's catalyst. So let's hear it from him, and let's see what he has to say. It's a very inspirational journey that he has had, and at least I was quite inspired. Let me know down in the comment section, how did you find his journey? So let's start.
Right. So a very good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, I am fine. It's nice weather in Poland. Spring is started, sometimes snowing and sometimes raining and sometimes sunny. Weather in one day.
Right, sir. First of all, thank you so much for giving your time to joining this channel and helping out the viewers and the students through your experience, your vast experience that you have had post PhD. So, starting from the initial days, how did you decide to do a PhD? Or
so first the thing is, I have seen some of my professors at my bachelor's. So they are teaching too much good of quality, and they are that means they are very famous in the college. Some of my professors were very famous because everyone never try to miss their lectures. So I decided to be a professor. That means I did that. At that time I decided that I will be a professor.
okay,
So after my masters, I come to know that to become a professor, you have to do a PhD.
okay, right, sir.
So that is a driving force for me to join a PhD.
So, sir, what was your? Can you tell a little bit about your research work that you carried out in your PhD and what you are doing currently in the postdoc? Just a brief idea, true for the viewers, on what your work is about.
So at my PhD, my work was based on the synthesis of organometallic catalyst based on palladium and copper, and their application towards CH functionalization reactions. So we can that means we can say in that CH activation reactions also. So so my work was focused on palladium and copper organometallic development of palladium and copper organometallic complexes, that means n heterocyclic carbene in particular, and their application towards CH activation reaction, that means carbon carbon bond formation, carbon nitrogen bond formation, carbon sulfur bond formation, and other heteroatom bond formation reactions. And in postdoc, I am doing research. That means I have changed some of my topics. My postdoc is on organometallic chemistry, but I have changed. That means some of the topics. That means in my PhD I was working on CH functionalization reactions or CH activation reaction or coupling reactions in general. But nowadays in my postdoc I have started work on Grub catalyst, development of new generation of Grub's catalyst and their application towards olefin metathesis reactions.
Okay, so that's quite fascinating. So, sir, how did you develop the interest in this field? Like, did you have like in your masters only you were confident that you want to pursue a research or PhD in this field, or how were you introduced to this field?
So in my masters, I was not decided to do. That means which on which topic I will work. So at the time, at my laboratory, my supervisor has given me full freedom to to choose my topic. And that means my topic, initially my topic was different, but then I did that at initial stage of my PhD. I did that means reference work on some topics, and then reading of some papers, new papers. And then I read. I remember that on one day I read one paper on that means Suzuki reactions or some other coupling reactions. So I decided that these are the quite nice reaction, because in single step you can form carbon bond. And so that means I turned my topic. I changed my topic to go on coupling reactions. And then I came to know that by the developing various types of organometallic complexes, and we can apply them for the coupling reactions.
So, sir, basically your work was not pre-decided. Like during your masters, you were not sure.
So, no, my work was not precise, because at initial stage I have to be honest, I have done my initial stage. My research topic was development of polymer supported ionic liquids
Okay.
and their applications in some catalytic reactions.
Right.
But I did the reference work till 6 months, and then after I changed my. That means some was the turning point. Something was the turning point to change my topic.
Okay.
And I asked my supervisor that I found this type of papers and I want to do research on this. And my supervisor told me that you can do anything that you want. That's it.
So you were basically given the freedom to work.
Yeah. Yes. That means in Indian universities, it is not possible in most of case.
Right. Yes, sir.
Because you have to work. That means every laboratory or every professor has some specific area of research.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you have to do, if you want to do research, then you have to do what your professor says that, or your professor suggests you. You cannot not use your ideas. And in my case, it was different. My supervisor, I have two supervisors. One is guide and second one is co-guide. So they have given me total freedom that whatever you want, you can do. It's your time, and you have to finish within your time limit. So you asked a nice question. Let me give an example. That means this is the incident in my lab. My colleague is working on the reduction of triple bond to double bond. Okay.
Yeah.
In one molecule there is a triple bond, and he's working. He's reducing the triple bond to single. That means double bond. Okay, selective way. So we learned that by using Lindlar catalyst.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We can by on paper it is there. By using Lindlar catalyst, we can reduce the triple bond selectively to double bond. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So he performed a reaction. This is the recent. That means before 2 days. This is the incident before 2 days. Before 2 days, he performed. He asked me that what can I do to reduce that triple bond. So I suggested him Lindlar catalyst is very famous. You can use. So he found that in our laboratory that Lindlar catalyst, and he tried that reduction. And after 2 hours, he checked he quenched the reaction and checked the NMR, and he found that the triple bond is reduced to a single bond. So what you are, that means theoretical knowledge is different, and sometimes the practical knowledge is total. That means experiments are also different, because Lindlar catalyst, that you cannot say that means it depends on the condition, time, and which poisoning you are using for that to quench the catalyst. That also
right.
is important. That doesn't mean that I have read that the Lindlar catalyst selectively reduce the triple bond to double bond, and I've added the Lindlar catalyst. So that's it. That is not possible. But you have to monitor the reaction time to time, and you have to, that means, use the quenching agent, or that stops the reaction at this second bond, that means double bond stage.
Right,
So
right,
that
sir.
is very much important. So according to me, the theoretical knowledge is different and practical knowledge is 100% different.
Right, right, sir. Okay. Um, and so since you have now worked in a Indian lab, and you've also worked in a foreign lab, or you're still working over there, what is the basic one difference, if you want to highlight, between working in India and working or doing research in abroad?
So as per my experience, there is a huge difference to work in Indian laboratory and the foreign laboratory.
Right, sir.
First, in case of safety, there are so many safety measures for the researchers.
Okay.
And the second important thing is, in our laboratories, we are working on tables sometimes. So we are doing column on tables. Generally, in Indian universities, there are table system. In
Yes, sir.
IITs, I don't know, they have some fume hoods or like that, or they are perform some reactions only. That means that is hazardous reaction in only fume hoods. But most
Yes.
of the reactions were performed in open lab.
Right.
But in my university, where I am working as a postdoc, or in my lab, if you want to open a screw cap of the bottle of acetone or any other solvent, so you have to open it in a fume hood.
So one key difference, like you would be pointing out, is safety measures that are there in
Yeah,
place.
September. And according to I am doing here postdoc here since last 6 months. So it is my observation, the safety checking is organized every week. Every week they are checking some safety measures, like that this lab have this, or this is not properly, or solvent stock is not proper. That means they have ordered too much solvent. Why you have ordered too much solvent? They are asking you question. So you
Right.
cannot not order too much solvent, because I know that means hexane is one of the key solvents in organic synthetic laboratories.
Yes.
So if 10 to 15 or 20 people is working in your lab, then there is a more conversion, that means too much consumption of hexane. So if the lab assistant or operator orders too much hexane, then they will not allow.
Okay. Right, sir. So how does it happen that the productivity in foreign universities is more, yet they have off on weekends, and when it comes to India, researchers are working even on Saturdays and Sundays, and still the productivity is low. So what is the key reason behind the productivity in foreign universities, and low
Uh,
productivity in India, even though Indian scholars are working harder and spending more time in the lab?
so according to me, the facility is the key factor to perform a good research. Okay, I am not comparing the IITs with universities, because state universities have different management, and IITs have different facilities and management. Okay, so in my laboratory, I'm talking, or in these universities in Poland, I came to know that every lab have their own instruments, that means scientific instruments. My laboratory, I suppose I'm giving my examples of my laboratory. My laboratory have their own NMR instrument. So I perform a reaction. I have to go submit the NMR tube, and that's it. So if within 5 minutes or within half an hour, I conclude that my reaction was worked or not.
Yes,
So I
yes.
can start the next step easily. But in India, it is too difficult. In some universities, you have to pay from your grant, or your own pocket. Okay, so it is too much difficult in Indian universities, as compared to foreign universities, because the facility is the main key factor to to have a fast research, and their second thing is collaboration. So they have collaboration and organized research. Their research is organized, and how it is organized, suppose they have different the experts in their laboratory. That means suppose I'm talking about my laboratory have the experts in synthetic organic chemistry, then synthetic organometallic chemistry, expert in synthetic organometallic chemistry, then expert in the applications of that catalyst, organometallic catalysts. And some are the expert in computational methods
to prove the mechanism.
So you can see if there is a collaborative work, then the outcome is too fast.
Agreed. Yes, sir. Definitely. Right, sir. So have you ever spoken to your postdoc supervisor, and have you ever asked him that what was the reason for your selection? Or do you know the reason? What was it that you were selected for a postdoc position? Even though, sir, like you just mentioned that there are PhD students from NITs, IITs, and central universities which have better facility, and that's why they're able to carry out better research. But you also competed with them and you got a postdoc position. So have you ever did you ever get to know the reason behind your selection?
So first, you that means you are right that NIT students, IIT students, and the central university students have good facility, and they are working in that means renowned labs, so they can publish a good paper. But for state university students, they could not get too much facilities to publish to do a good work. They are, because all have a, that means same mind. They are thinking is same, little bit different, but the intelligence is all people have same intelligence. So they want to do something, but they without facility they couldn't. So in my case, first it goes to your research. It goes that means my selection was based on my research. First thing, and the performance. Research is that everyone doing research, but the performance in the interview is also very much important. Your present way of presentation, way of that means answering. You are giving the answers to the questions. And third thing that was most helpful to me was they have asked me given me a slide on Skype, and they given me 5 minutes. There were 9 reactions. There were 9 simple chemical chemistry reactions, and I have to give a reagent, and how can you synthesize in this single step, by using single reagent, and the name of that reactions. So my academic knowledge played a huge role in that, because out of 9 reactions I have answered 7 correctly. One is one reaction, 8th reaction was I was nearby that reaction. I answered them, and one reaction I couldn't give the answer. Right. But they understood that he knows this basic chemistry knowledge very well, and they all questions were from Claydon. And I was teaching. That is my one of the thing I was teaching from Claydon. So, and I have read few chapters of Claydon. So, and to be honest, I've since 2011 I am attending NET, SET, NET and GATE examinations till 2019. So I have appeared just for knowledge. I was appearing the examination. So my knowledge was little bit good at that time in basic chemistry. So I gave the correct answers to all reactions, and they are impressed by that. And second thing is that I have published I think with collaboration at that time at my selection 11 research papers, 4 of my own thesis, and 5 others were from a little bit collaboration in my juniors, seniors, and colleagues. So in my case, my my supervisor. I'm thankful to my supervisor because my supervisor told me that it is your work. It is your work and you have done all work. So you are the corresponding author of that publication that you have done the research.
Okay.
So
That's
my supervisor have given me the corresponding authorships, and that is the key point
that is a big thing, sir. Nobody
for my
gives
selection.
generally corresponding author at PhD level.
Nobody in India. In India, it is impossible. In India, to be honest, it is impossible. The guides only checks your manuscripts and made some corrections and asked to do something more. Just that's it. Because I am from the academics and research, so I know everything. So the supervisor will not allow you to be as a corresponding author. First author is it is possible.
So, sir, I want to know, like, there are a lot of young PhDs and MSc students who are planning to do research, and of course, I am
Yes.
I am 100% sure you might have faced a lot of challenges during your PhD. So, one thing you would like to advise young researchers, first year PhD students, second year PhD students who are struggling or who don't know what topic they want to do a PhD in or what direction they want to go in. Any particular advice you want to give from your side?
So from my advice, do your best or give your 100% what you are doing. Okay. So sometimes what happens, I'm giving my example of one of my student. We were performing one carbon sulfur bond formation reactions by one of well-known method,
Right, sir.
and we want to decide, we want to make some different, that means we want to find a different route to synthesize that molecule. My student, that means my student, that means I was working in collaboration with my old lab, that means my supervisor, and his student, uh, I was guiding him, and he has made 25 reactions. I was suggesting them to do this, or we can do this way. So we have done 25 reactions to synthesize that molecule, but the reaction didn't work. And the same reaction was performed by the second guy from my same lab.
Okay.
So he performed only 2 times. The reaction performed only 2 times. On second attempt, he synthesized that molecule. Tried some catalyst and bases differently, which we are using previously. So it may possible. So we do not lose a hope during the performance of the reaction or performing the reactions. So sometimes our guide has suggested this, you do this, this you must to synthesize this molecule. So we are trying, reaction not go. So some students go in depression. That means my guide has asked me to synthesize this molecule, and the reaction didn't work. And what should I do next? And what can I do next? And how to face my supervisor, or how can I answer my supervisor that reaction doesn't didn't work, or like that. So we should not lose a hope. Think differently and do your best 100% in that reactions, and you can get success.
So, as a piece of motivation, what was the biggest challenge you remember you faced in your PhD, and how did you overcome it?
Setting of a new research field, because I decided to do a different research work in my lab. So I was the first who has changed the area of research in my lab. So that was the
Excellent,
first
sir.
challenge for me to set up the reactions. That means the reactions to synthesize organometallic, that means catalyst, and to set up the reactions for regarding the coupling reactions. So that is the big challenge. That was the big challenge for me at my initial stage of PhD. And once I found some solutions of that reactions, and I have started some work and came to know every day if you are performing new reactions, so every reaction teaches you a lot. So by that experience, uh, i I learned too much regarding the my topic, or coupling reactions. So if you consider your reaction as a challenge or your topic as a challenge, then you can do anything. So if you report your unexpected result, then it will be a good publication, but you have to you must know how to sell it or how to write it in a proper way.
Right, sir.
So in my case, I think in my two papers I got unexpected results. I was once I performed a reaction, first reaction of my that means second paper, and I was find ask that means checking I'm checking, I was checking the NMR, that
Yes, sir.
some signals were missing from the product, because you know that I performed this A plus B is equal to C, that structure. So we are matching the NMR with that structure, and we are not that means checking the NMR from we are not creating the structure from NMR. Okay, so that was my confusion, and I came to know that some signals are, that means functional signals from functional group are disappeared, and some new signals from functional groups are appeared there. So on that day I knew that the reactions work on unexpected way. So sometimes unexpected results can, that means, surprise you or can confuse you.
Right, sir. So, so if someone is new to the field, you would say that a good extensive literature survey is very important before proceeding.
Yes, yes, it is before proceeding any research, or before entering any research area, you must have to read, that means extensive, that means research papers, or must have extensive knowledge of your research area.
So one question I had actually posted on the community tab of the channel, that I would be inviting you and you would be coming on the platform. So one question that came up a lot. I mean, there were multiple questions framed in a different way, but all of them had only one objective, that if there is no job security after PhD, then what is the incentive of doing a PhD? That how does one decide that they want to do a PhD? Because after investing so much time, so much effort, they have this feeling that what if they still don't end up with a job? Then what would you want to tell them?
That means doing after doing PhD, there is no job security. So one has to think about that. But I am sure that doing PhD, and doing good research, you can take over, you can bypass all other competitors.
Right, sir. So, but is there any reality in this? You have had a lot of experience after PhD. So, do you think it is something which is a problem, that after PhD one cannot find a good job? Is that do you know of anyone, or what is your opinion on this?
So in India, it is the main problem. So after having a PhD, so many I have seen so many of my friends, they didn't have a good job, so they have to compromise to do uh, to to do job in some private companies, or with low salaries. Okay,
Yeah.
so uh, it is the big problem in India, to be honest.
Right, sir. So, sir, how would you tell them? How do they decide? For example, let's say, sir, like you said, you have to be above the competition when you're pursuing research, and you have to do something extraordinary. But one cannot be sure that, because research is something wherein the results might come in your favor, they might not come in your favor.
Yeah, yes,
So,
yes, yes.
if someone is an average student who is interested in research, but is again skeptical because they don't know how their research will pan out, and whether after putting in so much effort they'll have a job or not. I know, sir, it is a very difficult question, and it is very difficult for you and me to answer them. But do you have any such suggestion to give to those students? Because this is one of the hottest topics or hottest questions that I've got in on the channel.
You should be optimistic first, because I have finished my PhD in 2017. and I got postdoc in. So I have waited for 3 years. I want to do postdoc since I have submitted my synopsis, and
Yes, sir.
I have sent too many emails to different in India IITs and other countries except China. Okay, so I couldn't get positive response. Some research group leaders told that means replied me that we do not have fund. I like your profile, but we do not have funding. And when we got sufficient funding, we will contact you. But no one contact till that. But if so, I am an optimistic guy. So we should not lose a hope and try. You will success one day.
Well said, sir. I truly admire that as well. I think if you have an optimistic attitude and if you are confident in your abilities, I think you should go with your passion and your ambition and
Yes,
pursue your
yes.
research just like sir did. And like you said, it requires a lot of perseverance. You have tried a lot and then finally you have made it and you have got something that you really desired. So I think you need to have that much patience, passion, and like sir said, you should have perseverance. You should keep on trying and be optimistic in your decisions. So that is a really
Yes.
good point, sir. So what do you think? What worked for you? Like you had, like you said, you applied before as well. But what worked for you this time that you were offered a position? And what you do you think you were making a mistake previously somewhere, or was it just like it was not a good time to apply? That's why you were not getting the opportunity.
Don't want to say that because no one will is believing me that I have sent more than 400 applications for postdoc. 400 applications since I have submitted my since I have submitted my synopsis. Okay, and
Extraordinary,
I
sir.
did a yeah, and then I stopped to say that means I was a little bit confused. Now I have to stop this because after 400 applications you didn't get any positive response. But in sometimes uh, you should not lose a hope. Then up that means as I remember I sent last my application for postdoc in 2018. Then I have started that for application in 2020 19 sorry 19 end of 19 November.
Okay.
Then I sent a few in November 2019. I sent only 5 to 6 applications and
Right.
one was successful. So
Okay.
sometimes yeah, some people do not believe in luck, but some invisible factor that we are someone says that means God help me, or someone says locked, or someone says some invisible that means energy
Yes. Yes.
worked for me. So sometimes with your efforts, if you give your efforts, then the someone that means I believe in God, so God will help you.
That's great, sir. Um, Sir, that is actually very inspiring, and so, I mean, hats off to your effort. 400 applications is no joke. It is very, very difficult, and but sir, I mean, you deserved it truly.
Mm.
Um, so one question is that you were also working as an assistant professor. So if someone who is interested in teaching, and nowadays it is actually become mandatory also to do PhD in order to join as
Yes.
an assistant professor. So sir, what is the criteria on which you are selected as an assistant professor? Like, uh, is postdoc mandatory to become an assistant professor? Do you require postdoc experience?
So for universities, for state universities, postdoc is not mandatory, but it is a positive plus point. Postdoc is plus point because as I'm from state university, so I know. So for universities or university college, postdoc is not mandatory, but it will be a positive factor or positive point in your selection But to apply for IITs, NITs, central universities, ICERs, you must have at least 2 years of experience of postdoc.
Sure. So, finally, one last question that I would want to ask you is, what are your future plans like? So, what do you want to? be doing in the future after completing postdocs? Maybe this one, maybe one more. What is your plan like?
So right now my plan is to do postdoc here for 2 years,
Okay.
and then I have decided to go academics. So I am man of academics, so I will go to academics, but I will go there with some good knowledge, good that means experience. So I decide. I right now I have not decided, but I will do at least 2 postdocs.
Okay. And so, do you plan to return back to India, or do you plan to uh, find position maybe abroad as well?
If that means I cannot say, that means answer this question, but if I got opportunity to work in India after my postdocs, 1 or 2 postdocs, so I will 100% return to India.
And again, I would like to thank you. Uh, I would like to thank you for accepting the invitation and joining us on this particular platform. And I think it will be really helpful for young researchers who are trying, who are just trying to decide whether to pursue research or not. And I think you are a very inspiring personality, and they'll definitely be motivated and inspired by your story. And I think so. I wish you all the very best for future postdocs and then a position in the academia. And we hope to see you as a faculty member in India soon.
So thank you for inviting me on your channel. Or I am very happy to what I cannot expressing my views. That means it is I am happy to talk to you, and it is a great pleasure to talk to you, because you are the well-known personalities in India in the field of that means chemistry. I have seen some of your posts on reagent blues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you are putting some reactions or some, that means, problems related to synthetic work. So I know that, and you are. And I want to ask you one question. What
Yes,
is
sir.
your plan after your PhD?
Sir, I have a lot of ideas. So I just don't know how I'll go forward with it. But sir, in my experience, I want to even try out industry, because the whole idea is that industry is known to be very efficient with their work. So in the end, I do want to join the academics, but I want to experience industry and see how are they so efficient, what kind of processes they utilize to be efficient. And once I get that idea, and maybe I will apply it to academics, or maybe I plan to do something of my own with the knowledge that I have, and the efficiency and the working skills that I kind of get from the industry. So combining to both together, I might think of some entrepreneurship ideas as well. So that is also something. So I'm not decided, sir, whether academia, whether entrepreneurship. And if I like the work culture in industry, then I might just join the industry. So currently I'm unsure myself also what I would want to do.
I know, but as per my views, you will be a good academician,
Okay, thank you,
as
sir.
I see you.
Thank you.
And second thing, I want to say you that I have a list, at the time of my postdoc applications. I have made a list of 24 to 25 international postdoc fellowships. So I want to share with you, that you can share on this platform, that PhD research students, or those who want to pursue PhD in abroad, can get the benefit from that. So I want to share that fellowship's name, country, and the link.
So I think that would be
So
fabulous. For sure, sir. I'll in fact share it in this video also, the screenshot, and then I'll also upload the link whenever you send me, sir. And sir, if you don't mind, if somebody wants to contact you regarding some queries related to postdoc, can I enclose your email ID in the description box, if you don't mind?
Sure. You can enclose my email ID. Email ID with way, because I'm that means academician. So the to guide and to help the students is my prime duty.
Once again, sir, thank you so much for joining the platform. I don't know about others, whether others will be inspired or not, but I surely am inspired. So thank you so much.
तो रिसर्च के साथ क्या होना चाहिए, तो सम यू शुड बी इन्वॉल्व इन सम अदर करिकुलर एक्टिविटी, कल्चरल एक्टिविटी. तो मैं पीएचडी में था, तो मैंने दैट मीन्स कल्चरल एक्टिविटी में मैं इन्वॉल्व था. और मैंने क्या किया, तो कि मैं कुछ बुक्स ऐसा पढ़ता है, स्पिरिचुअल बुक्स दैट गिव्स यू सम मोटिवेशन ड्यूरिंग योर वर्क. बिकॉज जो महान लोग हैं वो कैसे बने हैं, महान लोग ऐसे नहीं बने हैं. जो लोग महान बने हैं वो उनके जीवन में कोई समस्या आई थी और उनका वो समस्या का उन्होंने सॉल्यूशन किया, और कैसे किया वो हमें सीखना है. कुछ रिएक्शंस का जो मुझे आइडिया है ना, उसी टाइम आया था, पढ़ते समय और सुनते समय कुछ रिएक्शंस का टाइम, और वो सक्सेस हुआ था. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है कि जो इनविजिबल फैक्टर है वो भी आपके लिए काम करता है, आप अगर उसमें बिलीव करते हो तो.